So you've now written your introduction and your paragraph 2. Remember your prompts. How does Toni K. Bombard develop her theme through the use of a dynamic character in Raymond's Run? So again, you're proving that you have a dynamic character, and then you're going to discuss how the fact that that character does undergo a specific change helps to develop a theme that you've already chosen and you've put in your thesis statement. As I went through some of your introductions, I could tell once again that you're not going back to the checklist and making sure that you have what you need. Remember, you can do file, make a copy, and you can make your own so that if you want to, you could actually use it as a checklist. You could highlight or delete the things as you're sure that they're there, or you can print it and use it as a checklist that way. In paragraph 3, it's just like paragraph 2, but it focuses on how Squeaky was after her attitude changed, because you're really trying to, again, prove that she's dynamic. So you have to have a topic sentence. And again, you're going to get your topic sentence from the top of your after graphic organizer. But if you want, I think it's a really great idea to work in the word dynamic or metamorphosis or change, because that's really what we're asserting. We're asserting that she is dynamic because she now has this particular character attribute that you didn't have before. So you have your topic sentence. You have to have your 2 quotes to back up what you're saying. You have to cite your quote properly, including putting your page number. And don't forget, it goes end quote, page number in parentheses, then the period. You have to make sure you're following that format, and then you're explaining the quotes. Remember, you picked up your better explanations from that evidence elaboration chart. If you were smart, you copied and pasted that back into your after organizer so that you had everything in one place. Otherwise, you just have up, both documents, both the after chart and the evidence and elaboration chart. The paragraph should be approximately 7 to 9 sentences. And again, you want to work in transitions wherever it makes sense to place them to show how information is related. And I'm going to say one more time, you should be reading this over and over and over again, looking for those proofreading errors. You can also use your Read Write app and have it read it to you. It's way better to hear it aloud. For me, when I'm writing a paper, I will read it aloud to myself over and over and over again. But sometimes listening to someone else read it is more effective for certain people. Regardless, you should be turning in an example of your best work. You should be turning in something that you're proud of. That's what I hope to read. And so something that you're proud of wouldn't be riddled with errors, grammatical errors that I know you know better. So let's look at this paragraph. As a result of the climax, the Grinch has a change of heart and becomes pleasant. This one, topic sentence is okay, but I'd love to see something like the Grinch goes through a metamorphosis and emerges. A character who's had a change of heart and becomes pleasant. Or even, again, the word dynamic in the topic sentence would be nice. So we start right away with transition. For example, on Christmas morning, the Grinch expects to hear cries coming from Whoville because he had taken all of their gifts the night before. And I want to change this to present tense. No, you know what? We'll leave it past tense. He had taken all of their gifts the night before. Unexpectedly, he hears the Who singing happily, even though their streets and houses are empty of their precious gifts and decorations. It's at this moment that the Grinch realizes that Christmas is not about the things, such as presents and decorations. It's about the people. His values change. The Grinch thinks maybe Christmas doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. The anger and meanness that existed in the Grinch's heart melts away as the sweet voices of the Whos ring out through the air. A pleasant feeling overcomes the Grinch as he realizes the true meaning of the Christmas celebration. Moreover, on Christmas morning, as the Grinch listens to the Who's singing, he finds that Christmas is as much a spirit as it is tangible items. Therefore, in the spirit of the moment, the Grinch decides to return all of the Who's presents, decorations, and food. He no longer wishes to hurt the Who's in Whoville. The Grinch becomes pleasant, and the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. The pleasant feeling that overcomes the Grinch on that Christmas morning urges him to return all of the stolen gifts and participate in his first Christmas celebration. In turn, the Grinch soon finds himself partaking in his first roast beef dinner with the Who's down in Whoville. This dinner is a symbol of his reintegration into the community, which is the evidence of a true change of heart. And something you might notice when I was playing with that verb tense, when you talk about literature, you want to talk about it in present tense. And no matter what, you want to make sure that your verb tense is consistent. So for a moment, I saw a verb that I thought didn't quite fit, but we are talking, currently he's doing this. He had taken the gifts, but right now he hears the Who's singing. So you can see how I'm really trying to stay in present tense. Notice I've wrapped my quotes. The Grinch thinks, comma, and then I go into that dialogue. So I put a comma. The Grinch, here you can see the Grinch becomes pleasant and then we just incorporate the quote. So it just flows right in. We don't need the comma. We don't need to capitalize it in that case. And you can see that I have transitions in red. And again, this is available, this model, right in Google Classroom in the post. And so it's really something that you should have up while you work. And you should be going back and forth between this and your work to make sure that yours looks like mine.